All right, guys, why would you want to buy a slide like this? I'm not talking about specifically an optics cut slide, but I'm talking about a slide with an optics cut behind the rear sight. This is a really innovative slide from Palmetto State Armory, and this is actually one of the PSA Daggers. If you're unfamiliar, this is a Glock 19 clone, and a lot of the parts, if almost not all of the parts, are interchangeable with the Glock 19 platform. You can acquire this in a few different ways. One is actually a complete firearm, and what you're seeing here, minus the optic and light, actually is available on their website for $379. Now, unfortunately, I can't link to any of this in the description below, but I can post a link to my campsite page. My campsite page is an aggregate site of all the best deals I find on the internet, and I've summarized a lot of the best Dagger slides, frames, and complete package deals over there, so I'll leave my campsite page in the description below. A lot of these are affiliate links, so it helps out the channel at no extra cost to you, just brings you right to the sale. I also have a ton of different deals over there that you can take a look at as well. So now the Dagger itself is a really interesting platform and has been 100% reliable with every single one that I've owned on the channel. In fact, this is actually the first slide sent to the channel by PSA to me. The other 3 and 3 frames I bought myself. That's how much I like them. I actually bought 3 Daggers, and they did send me this slide for review. I also did a 1,000-round test on an original Dagger that they sent me that I had to send back to PSA to keep on testing, but I put 1,000 rounds through it. No issues whatsoever. A lot of the ammunition I've been shooting lately was the Callaway Ballistics 115 grain, the reman and the new manufacturer stuff. They have some really good prices on this, as well as some 147 grain subsonic 9mm at really good prices, and hollow point 9mm at some really good prices. They also have the code 704 Tactical for free shipping on ammo orders over $200 from Callaway Ballistics. Definitely check them out. You won't be disappointed in their ammunition. Now, the Dagger itself comes in a wide variety of configurations, and I already mentioned you can buy this as a complete gun, but you can also buy it as just a frame. You can buy the frame complete, $99, and right now they're actually offering free shipping. Again, I'll leave that on my campsite page, and then you can buy whatever slide you want. So the cool thing is if you wanted to get a basic carry 9mm slide without all the bells, whistles, threaded barrels, optics cut, you can grab one of those complete for as low as like $179, bringing your total out to $279 for a complete Glock 19 clone. Then you can grab a second slide, something like this, with an optics cut, lightning cuts, and raised sights, and a threaded barrel for like a competition gun, a suppressor host. The list goes on and on how you can mix and match these, and they all have some really affordable prices. Now, this one in particular is really cool because it's one of their latest designs. So they offer it with the Doctor optics cut, which fits a lot of the True Glows, the Vortexes. You'll be able to look up a list of optics for the Doctor cut. And then they also offer a cut in this particular side of the traditional cut for the RMR style optic, which fits a lot of the Hollow Suns, the Swamp Foxes, things like that. Now, the cool thing is, again, this traditional slide that they currently offer is pretty slick, but one thing is it's traditional, meaning the sights sit behind the optic. So when you're looking at that, you can co-witness as you see here, but watch this. So as I'm co-witnessing, if I go left, the rear sight actually blocks the dot, even though you could still make it out on the window if the sight wasn't raised above the optic slightly. That's enhanced more, especially with something like this True Glow. The True Glow sits really far down, and you can see how much of the optic that the sight covers. Now, if the sight was behind it, it would actually obscure the window. But since the sight is in front of it, it obscures the window, but not the dot, meaning, watch, the dot can actually hover over the sight and project itself. Your eyes naturally pick up the surroundings and can still make out what you're shooting at. Even though the sights are technically in the way, your eye can manage because you can see the projected dot on the target. So this gives you a huge advantage of having the sights in front of the optic because the dot can still project on the sights, whereas if the sights are behind the optic, you can't obscure it. Now, for something like the Hollow Sun or the Trijicon RMR, they sit up a little bit higher so you don't run into this a ton, but when you're talking about such a small window, every little bit helps, so this is a really innovative solution. This particular slide also comes with lightning cuts that really helps out because you're adding mass with the optic, you're removing mass of the steel of the slide, so it kind of balances out. The other cool thing is when you're looking at the optics themselves as the positions on the slide, when we put them here together, you can see the optic is obviously sitting closer to the ejection port. So when the shells are coming out of the gun, they kind of fly back and to the right. They could potentially hit your optic on a a traditional slide like this, and that's happened in the past. A lot of times it's not a big deal, but it can scuff and ding your optic depending on the ammo used, the optic used, the weight of the slide. When it sits this far back, the shells get nowhere near the optic itself, protecting it a little bit more. So you definitely get two benefits with the position of this optic where it's at on a slide like this. In general, this one has been 100% reliable with a wide variety of ammunition. Most of it I shot was Reman Callaway ballistics, and everything about this slide was great. These also run really good suppressed, both the traditional and the new version, so definitely check them out. And if you're more of a traditionalist, I believe they have this particular slide with the RMR cut right now, without the barrel and guide rod, as you see here. So completely ready to go, just drop in a barrel and a guide rod assembly for $119, and then you can build it out with the barrel and everything like that. And they actually offer this one complete with the barrel, the sights and everything, so you don't need to do anything but drop it on a frame for about $275. Again, when you pair it with the lower, you're looking, guys, right at about $375 for a really custom, awesome feeling Glock that's been 100% reliable with the really innovative feature of having the optic behind the sights. If you're running it without the optic, I'd recommend just a traditional slide, but when you're dropping the optic on, it's definitely worth giving this one a try. I'm highly impressed. I really like it. Definitely check out the campsite page. Again, that aggregate site of all the best deals I find. I'll be able to organize everything over there. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.